Hello, welcome to lesson number 6. We're going to finish up the basics on the brushes by going through the actual brush menu here. It has various options. Use selected as brush. You can open a brush, save a brush, store and manage, store as an image, free the brush boundaries, clipboard, copying and pasting. You can change the style, color to matte. These are the same things that are up on the top. Your transparency, color keying, keying to black, primary, etc. Randomizing, transparency tool. You can feather it and then grow the key or shrink the key. Flipping the brush horizontal or vertical, rotating the brush either 90 degrees or arbitrary. Resample the brush in order to resize it. Pre-multiply correction. Make a seamless tile using whatever you have selected in the brush. Add a drop shadow, brush effects, patterns, animated brushes, and then other plugins having to do with the brushes. So we'll show some quick examples of that. So say we have drawn this lovely heart. We're going to use the regular selection rather than the brush selector. And so I've selected that. This is our marching ants alpha marquee or selection marquee. And then I come to brush, use the selected as brush. Now you'll see in my preview there that I have a little heart. These are adjusted in the same way as anything else. So we can set that to 100. Now it's same size. We can set this to the full 255. So now it's as big. And then you set your steps at however far you want them to go from each other. If you're just going to stamp it down, set your sets to 0, and that will stamp. As you see, we've got white filling in and white borders. So I can come here and go into the transparency and key it to secondary, which in this case would be white. And now I have a nice little cutout heart that you can still see through. The other way to do that is on our selection tool. So we'll go here and we're gonna draw something new, and this time we'll do a nice little zigzag ribbon. And this time we'll use the selection tool, which is right here. This automatically selects using the cross hairs there. And now I've got the brush here, again adjusted according to the size, the opacity, and so on. So that's how you can do that. And then you go back to that same brush, and if you'll right click it, that will give you your transparency and edge transparency shortcut. So I can clean it up quite a bit there. You can use the alpha if one has been selected, or invert the key. You can choose what your transparent color is. So that's all of those things are quickly together. So then I have my brush. So that's the quick use on how to make a custom brush. You could of course do that with a picture or a selection of your picture. It's a good way to do a simple cloning if you just want to get rid of an edge of a thing. If you'll see here, we still have a little bit of halo, so we can come back here to the brush and go to the transparency and pick feather, and usually a value of 2 is good. And now we don't have much of a halo. Feather it again. There we go. And now we don't have any halo. So some various ways to manipulate the brush. If you open a brush, which is the next one here, then wherever you have PNGs, JPEGs, any of those sorts of things stored, you can then open those up. You can also use just about any kind of picture for it. So, for example, here we are with a bead string. This is a JPEG. So, load in the JPEG. And there it is, just as it was saved previously. Again, I go here, and I can adjust my key. And now I have my beads. Set the step to 0 if you're stamping. If you're just moving it around, you can choose what steps. 0 if you're just moving it, does such. 74 here, you can make a chain, things of that nature. So you can that allows you to adjust the steps as it's stamped down. If you load in a PNG, come back here and go to my PNG brushes. You can also convert ABR brushes using ABR Mate, and that way they can be used as well. And the PNGs are automatically have the parts that are transparent are automatically transparent. You don't have to make any adjustments. Again, it always, when you load a new brush, it sets it to 16. So if you want it closer than that or further than that, you'll have to adjust it from there. So that's how that works insofar as opening a brush. Now, if you can then store and manage a copy of the brush. So when I do that, it stores it here as a small copy, and this allows me to quickly scale and rotate while saving the original copy. I can change the hue, the saturation, and the value. This is black, of course, so I'm not going to get a new hue on that. Add the red, green, and blue to it, and then you can choose to get a new copy of whatever brush you have to replace this one. You can restore this one to an unmodified brush, and then this also allows you to do the anti-brush. And here's copies of the animated brush here in a little film strip. And then if I wanted to, have it rotate, I could save various copies into here, adding a frame each time, and then as it went along, it would rotate along. So that's how the storing the brush works. Very quick and handy. You can also store as an image, and if you store it as an image, let me get a more colorful brush here. So now we have this brush, nice and colorful. So brush, we store it as an image, and there's what it's stored at an image. The handy thing on this is if you press the little turkey baster, you can now use it to change the color. So if I clicked on the orange here, it changes it to an orange there. If I click on the blue here, it changes it to blue there, giving you a color palette quite easily, and things right there. There's also, you can resize it so that you can see it bigger if you want to store an image over here. And it has some various things. You can paste the image into the picture, you can center it, you can scale it, you can combine it using the various different methods, adding and subtracting. You can paste it into your swap image and use it to replace the alpha, grayscale it. So there's a number of things that you can use it back and forth with insofar as the image. That's very convenient, very handy. You can also store the image buffer itself up in here. So this would store the whole image, everything that we've got there. It takes a quick screenshot of it, basically. We got excited. And it has the same possibilities on it because it is storing it as an image. Up here you also have store the brush. So this is a fast way, instead of having to go all the way up into the brush menu and whatnot, you would just store it, and there's our stored brush. And this stores a selection. So if I was to use the lasso and decide I wanted to make, this selection right there, and then I would do store to a selection, and I'm now have my alpha mask or my alpha selection, and it also has a little set of menus. You can replace it, add it, quickly invert it, get a new alpha, or get the whole image that's there, clear it out, undo things, and etc. So that's the quick store things, which allow you to kind of put it on the side and be able to use it back and forth into your image. Free is the same as the little X here, that just basically, once you've gone through and made changes to all of this, especially if you're changing the brush settings here and adding random positions and things like that, in order to quickly get rid of that, you would just hit the brush settings and it sets everything back to the default size 100, full opacity, and the 16 step. So that's a quick and easy way. Again, it can be accessed from the menu. Clipboard lets you copy something from either like a print screen, or open up something in IR Fan View or whatnot and copy it, and then you can paste it directly into a brush. And that's so you can quickly make a selection, paste it in the brush, and you've got a custom brush you're ready to start changing it, manipulating it. The style is the same as the style that's up here. Flipping just flips it, obviously. Rotating rotates. Resampling will allow you to choose the brush size and how you want to manipulate it. You can change the scale simply this way. You can constrain it or not constrain it, and it's got divide by 2 and multiply by 2 for quick and simple changes. Then making seamless, if I've got a custom brush in there, it will do a trial tiling for you to see how things go, and you can then adjust your trim, the X and the Y, to kind of decide how dense you want it to get you a thing. And now it's a seamless tile. You can then use that as an image or use it as the brush. If you want it to stay the same size, you just toggle the keep original size, and I now have a tileable brush. So there's my tileable brush. Just have to set my steps higher for it to move along that way, or set it down much lower if I want precision. See, that will match up exactly, so that I can get some precision in that way. So that's how you would do seamless tiles, very quick and easily through the brush. The brush effects are the same as the brush effects over in the over here. I stand corrected. It's some different creating different brushes. So I can choose one of the types here, add more red, add more noise to it, choose a different kind of noise. There's a further editing, and I could also do it as animated, and that will then make some neat effects with it depending on what you're doing. So that's the brush effects. Another little cute and hidden menu, which is actually down here, and there's the custom brush effects down in the custom spot. So you can access things from the little panels, floating panels, or access it directly from the menus. Patterns work just like the patterns, and then the animated brushes, you would then create it. You could load sequences in, you could choose different brushes and add them to it. We'll cover a lot of those kinds of things later. Alright, that's all the basics of brushes and where to find them and things that you can do to them. And then we'll be ready to move on to some of the other menus. We'll do a little further on selections, I think, in the next one. Alright, thanks.